Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. For guys, I'm your ever-loving host, Shorty, and yes, we're back after a break where Diamond UK screwed us for quite a lot of things. But we have stuff to review now, and we're starting with Junk Punch. And this is one that was on my radar very early on. I like the idea, like the concept behind it. I always like Mad Cave at the moment. They put good stuff out. I'm going to pay attention to it. And I was happy that this was going to be like the one I reviewed first. It helped on a little bit of that the UK screwed us over again and literally only sent us one copy of it. So if you come into my store and you buy this comic book, I apologise, I've read it. Because we only got sent one and I didn't put it on my pull list, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to leave it on sale. And there's a lot to like about it, but I am going to kind of press it a little bit saying, in terms of the story as it's presented and how it rolls out, how the narrative progresses, it doesn't quite work for me. That's not to say it's not an amazing comic book which does some brilliant things, but it has a tendency to go wacky, to go zany, and I'm not really a fan of that. Doesn't say that's not a bad comic book. This is intentional. They set out to create this world with these characters and use it to tell a narrative in the way they do. And they succeeded in all of that. And they did it well based on what their expectations and what their plans were. I, however, find myself bouncing off stuff like that. But I got all the way through this comic book and I loved so much what's happened. It was kind of only in the final moments of it when I was like, maybe this isn't for me. Because first thing I noticed about it was it looks amazing. Carlos Olivares, I apologise for pronouncing that name wrong, with colours by Francesco Vivaldi, are just spectacular. I mean, the colours alone, oh lord, the colours are amazing. The depth to it, the way it glows, it's got an almost cyberpunk edge to it of neon all over the place, but it isn't just that. Like, the colouring on the lettering even, Taylor Esposito, take a bow, mate, you absolutely nailed that. But the colours everywhere are fantastic. There are times when it doesn't have to be there, and if a conversation is like kind of tight and we need to be paying attention to what the character's doing, watching their non-verbal communication as well as what they're saying, follow it along, then we do get a kind of ambient background which doesn't need to do much. But the vast majority of the time, the world is a character. The setting is beautiful and detailed. It's raw and harsh and also warm and loving when it needs to be. And every character in it is brilliantly rendered. There is dynamism throughout. There is a sense of everyone being welcome. And I think that is kind of where I hit the point where I'm like, oh, this is really good. Because for people who don't know, it is the start of Pride Month, or it'll be a couple of days past that one by the time this one goes up live. And yeah, it's kind of cool that companies do at least, toe the line to a certain degree, be like, yeah, we'll do some Pride stuff, but gotta be honest, when a Warner Brothers company does it, it feels like whoever set the bar, they went like that far over it. Don't get me wrong, the DC one's got Jadzia Axelrod involved, and she's amazing. I am absolutely going to read it. It might be brilliant, but I can't take it that seriously. And I do understand some arguments that yes, Pride is still a thing which needs to be celebrated, and anyone engaged with good. But there's also rainbow capitalism. It's a whole thing. This is not advertised as a Pride comic book in any way, but it is very queer, and it is obviously upfront queer. We have a whole bunch of gender identities, different body types, and it is highly sex positive in ways which come across as queer. I love it for that, and I think with the first few pages I was like, right, okay, I am in, let's see, let's roll out. And the characters are brilliantly done. There was a moment on like the second page where we get our main character, the titular Junk Punch, should I say, wearing an outfit which is clearly showing off her sexual attributes, and there's the way it's framed, you get a little bit of a shot of some underwear, and I was like, well, this has bugged me in the past, it'd be weird not to mention it in this one, but it never felt like it was intentionally done to titillate or just to put the female form out there for us to enjoy, because on the exact same page, there's guys full ass on display, wearing either chaps or G-strings. This is all about body positivity, no matter who you are, and getting out there that it's okay to be okay with who you are and what you look like. Love it for that, love it all the way through. We do get into the silliness when we get to actual plot. The original idea was it was like somebody had stolen a goal from a sporting event, and that was a theft that would need to be investigated. And I was kind of like, well, okay, that's a very odd way of framing this idea of a story. It is kind of absurd, but I like absurdity, and I was like, yeah, okay, let's see how it plays out. Unfortunately, then the wackiness and the zaniness kind of took over to a certain degree. The story felt a little bit disjointed. It didn't flow narratively in a way which was enjoyable for me. But again, that's my issue with wacky and zany. I'm okay with surreality, but there should still... the difference between that and... I'm okay with absurdism, but the difference between that and surreality, which this kind of blurs the line slightly. I think goes maybe a little bit too into the surreal for me, but that's not to say I didn't enjoy it. It looked fantastic. The characters are great. The world is brilliant, and everyone involved should be proud of the work they've done. Just because the comic isn't for me doesn't mean it's not a good comic book. That's it for me for now, though. Till I see you all again, look after yourself, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.